Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into Wilmington Wildcats Weekly here on the Christian Internet Sports Network, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company, live from Benedictine University in Lisle tonight as the Wildcats on the road to take on the Lisle Lions. Boy, this is a really interesting, bizarre scenario tonight. There have been thunderstorms all day. Thunderstorms continue to show up across the area, but they're going to try to get this game in here at 5 o'clock. I would tell you that if that happens, that's going to be interesting because at the moment we have dry skies, at least at the moment, but in a little bit I think we're going to get hit with some more rain and storms and who knows what all in the next hour or two. So we'll see if we can at least get this game in here this afternoon / this evening. Well, Lisle comes into tonight's game at 3-1 on the year, ranked at number 8 in 3A. Wilmington comes in at undefeated at 4-0 and up to number 2. As a matter of fact, getting at least some votes for number 1. Williamsville and Wilmington kind of fighting it out for that top spot in 3A. So this is one of those top 10 matchups tonight in the state of Illinois. You know, normally we have a lot of scoring updates for you throughout the night and stuff, but I think tonight it's going to be a little thin with the 5 o'clock start. I can't imagine there's a lot of games even going to get played tonight, and this might fall into that category before the night is done as well. But both teams at the moment out on the field getting ready for football here tonight. We've got roughly 12 minutes or so before opening kick. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll get to our interview with the head coach of the Wildcats, Mr. Jeff Raines, here in just a few minutes. You're listening to Wilmington Wildcats Weekly on the Christian Internet Sports Network, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company. Collision Center is now at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. They accept all insurance companies, and as always, customer service is their top priority. Contact Warren's Collision at 815-458-3300, stop by online at warrenscollision.com, or visit in person at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. Warren's Collision Center is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair. Quigley Technology Services is your local source for computer help. They have built numerous websites, including ours here at the Christian Internet Sports Network. Will get back to full speed now, and you can trust them for first-class computer repair, including free local pickup and delivery, plus on-site service, including after hours. Contact Quigley Technology Services at 815-293-7844 or stop by at quigtech.com. That's QUIG tech.com. Welcome back here at Wilmington Wildcats Weekly, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company, joined once again by the head coach of the Wildcats, Mr. Jeff Raines. And Coach, a good solid win last week against a Mantino team that we know has caused problems for a few people in opening games and played some bigger schools as you have, and a good opportunity for your guys to come out and kind of fill some gaps where some people ended up missing with injuries and get out of there with a solid win.
No, I couldn't agree with you more. Mantino team, they came in with a big upset over Lisle the week before. Even in their losses, I feel that their offense was clinging and doing really well. Was really working well together, and we let up the big play a little bit, but I thought for the most part we did a good job against their run game, and we were bend don't break against their pass game, and then we were able to run the ball obviously on offense. Rodewald had a great night, and offensive line wise, and Trey Shaw, great to see him back in the mix, and so Tyler Willis, what a job he did on defense for us, and so overall it was a real good game for us. Our kids stepped up and played, and great to get another win and to be 4-0.
At what point did you realize that Trey Shaw was good to go?
I didn't realize, because even in the pregame he looked good, but was still limping a little bit. When he took his first kickoff and he returned it about 40 yards to midfield, I said, okay. And then I want to say right after that, we gave him the ball and he broke one for 50 yards. And so he was good to go. And what a confidence booster for him, because you go through a tougher injury like that, you're just not quite sure. And then for him to get that confidence is good.
We were worried at all about playing him on both sides of the ball.
A little bit, and then when the injuries started happening, we knew we couldn't afford that. He had to play, and that's a good question. We were going into it with one side of the ball, but it is what it is. It's a conference game. we talked to our trainer, we talked to Trey, and like the trainer and Trey both said, if I'm playing on one side,
Yeah.
if I'm playing, I'm playing. You're exactly right. And the trainer even said, once he's warmed up, he's going to be fine. So, obviously he did a really good job.
Special teams, week in and week out, that seems to get more and more important. Of course, you had Trey returning kicks there for a while, and then Richards with that big kick right before the half, and the ability to kind of see what kind of leg he has in a game-type situation. That's an impressive kick from 41, 42 yards.
It really is. He showed some of that last year. Not quite the 42, but as a freshman, he's kicking 30, 35 yarders. And obviously he's gotten bigger and stronger, and boy, he not only hit that kick for 42, that might have been good from 47, 48. Mm-hmm. So what a weapon to have, and good job. You talk about the little things between your snapper, your holder, and that's all got to work together. And Allen was able to get the ball through the uprights.
Now you get Lisle, and you're on the road, and we all know kind of how that goes every time we go to Benedictine.
Yeah.
And you get a team that spread everybody out, and kind of, are you a little bit more comfortable with that since you see more spread offenses now?
Yeah, I think so. I think the biggest thing for us is offensively. That's one thing they've done from their defense to our offense is tied us down somewhat. And but going back to the question defensively is yes, I think some of the games that we've played so far have helped us. I think playing that run game, because we're going to get a little bit of both from Lisle. As I said the other night at Catbackers, on one side of the formation, they're going to power run you. Mm-hmm. On the other side of the formation, you're going to have speed at receivers, and you got to be able to stop the pass game. So we got to see how we handle that whole situation.
Is the name of the game still getting to the quarterback before they can get the ball off?
Well, yeah, we do. But the thing is about this quarterback, what makes it scary is I think this kid's scarier when he's out running around trying to pass the ball. And so anytime you get pressure on a quarterback, it's a good thing. We just got to make sure he doesn't get away from us too much.
Now, we talked about weather on Friday night or two ago, and that might be a factor. It looks like it definitely might be a factor at some point during that night. So how do you guys look to kind of handle that situation?
You know what? Well, it's in Lisle's hands to begin with, and so we'll see what they want to do. We'll obviously be following the weather and go from there. But, it's their homecoming, so they got a lot into this weekend also. And so, we'll go up there and we'll play. One thing, it's on turf, so you're not worried about muddied up or field-wise, it's not going to hurt you either way. Obviously, from our standpoint, you got to bring enough footballs and try to make sure from that standpoint you're okay. But we let Lisle make those decisions and see what they want to do. They'll be in. I think tomorrow's when you first get a good grip of that forecast, what's it going to be the next day. And the thing is, the tough part about this is you're dealing with Benedictine. You're dealing with not Lisle's home field. You're dealing with another school, and so you got to work around them and all that. So those guys, our ADs, do a great job, and I'm sure they'll figure out the best thing for us.
All right, lastly here tonight, I know this is a growing list in all kinds of various areas, but injury-wise, where do you stand?
Yeah, so, after the game Friday, Cody Franzen, we were told, broke his collarbone, and he was done for the year. Well, now he gets x-rays, and he's okay. He still has a sprained shoulder, though, and it's going to be 1 or 2 weeks till he gets back. Now, that's better than the whole season. So we got Trey Shaw back. Sanchez, he just got an MRI the other day, so we're going to see about that. Humphreys goes back to the doctor here the next couple days. Don't know if it'll be next week, for sure in 2 weeks. Possibly, though, next week. He gets another x-ray to see how that is. And so, yeah, that's where we're at right now. And we're making it work. Our kids, Willis come in, did a great job. Jack and Ryan come in last week, did a great job. Mm-hmm. And so we need to continue to do that. However, if some more kids go down in key spots, we're really struggling. And so, but that's football. That's the nature of the beast.
All right, Coach, good luck tonight. And again, we'll talk to you in the postgame.
All right, hey, thanks. Appreciate it.
Coach Jeff Reins joining us here on Wilmington Wildcats Weekly, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company. We'll take a break, come back, get you set for opening kick tonight. Boy, that sounds weird saying that at 4:53 or whatever it is right now, but that's the situation tonight. So we'll take a break. We'll come back, get you set for a top 10 matchup in the state here in 3A. We'll do that in just a moment. You're listening to Wilmington Wildcats Weekly, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company on the Christian Internet Sports Network. Phelan Acres Bible Church is the perfect place if you are looking for a church to call home. They have services every week, including Sunday school at 9:45, morning worship at 11, and Wednesday night prayer meetings at 7. Phelan Acres Bible Church is located at 26009 Willow Lane in Wilmington, Illinois. And for more information, call 815-476-7818. That's 815-476-7818. If you're looking for more information on Wilmington Wildcats football, then check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Each week, Coach Reentz goes over game film, takes questions from the audience, and presents the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week awards. Plus, you'll get to hang out with other Wildcat fans and get the inside scoop on next week's game. So be sure to check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Teresa's Family Styling Salon in Wilmington is an all-ages salon that will style your hair for that special look. They offer cuts, perms, and coloring for any fashion. They also carry Paul Mitchell and Brocato products. Teresa's Family Styling Salon is located in the Southgate Plaza in Wilmington, and you can call for an appointment at 815-476-1955. That's 815-476-1955. Pro Real Estate is a family-owned business established in 1983. Its staff and sales agents work in all areas of real estate sales, from first-time homebuyers to experienced investors. Located at 506 South Water Street in Wilmington, clients are welcome to stop by to discuss their real estate needs or visit our website at pro-homes.net. For a private consultation, contact us at 815-476-7916. Just a couple of minutes away from opening kick here tonight up at Benedictine University. I mean, we've seen a little bit of lightning in the skies, and so far, now Benedictine does have lightning strike computerized technology where if they sense something within so many miles, it trips that whole system, and then it kicks everybody out for a half hour. So far, so good. We are about 1 minute away from opening kick here tonight, and we'll see how this goes. So just a few things around the area tonight, and these are if these matchups actually even happen. Reed Custer at 1-3 will be at 1-3 Mantino. Coal City at 4-0 will make the road trip down to Streeter. Now, I don't know what the weather's like down there, so who knows? Maybe it'll be okay. But Streeter at 2-2. Peatone at 3-1 will be at 1-3 Herscher tonight. Ottawa at 1-3 will be at 3-1 Morris. Another 3A matchup to keep an eye on. Byron at 3-1 will host North Boone tonight, who is 2-2. Just taking a glance down through here to see if there's anything else that we really need to look at right now, and I don't think so. We will have, if there are any games going on, a full check of the IHSA football scoreboard brought to you by Odekirk Allred and Associates a little bit later on tonight. I can't imagine there's going to be a whole lot going on at 5:45.
And it looks like it's going to be we're going to be very fortunate if we get this game in at all.
By the way, last week Lisle defeated Herscher 42-10.
Wow.
Wilmington coming off a 51-28 win over Mantino. Some other scores from the Ice Conference: Streeter 30, Reed Custer 13. It was Coal City 20-0 over Peatone. And some other schools from around the area. Morris beat Plano last week 43-0. Speaking of lightning, there is a bunch right off the corner in the end zone, and if it were me, I think I would have gotten these teams out here and said, let's just get going at 4:45. let's get this game going.
We've been here since about 4 o'clock, and it's been pretty good since then.
The weather's been very good between 4 and 5, other than one big downpour. There's really hasn't been much lightning, but we are in such a narrow window here between thunderstorms that I can't imagine 2+ hours of football is going to be squeezed in here without some sort of massive thunderstorm. But
no, if it gets much closer, that's alarm's going to go off.
Well, in any case, Lisle will tee it up from their own 40, kicking off left to right here tonight from Benedictine. Wilmington in that ball control offense out of the double wing. They're going to have to hang on to the football tonight. Of course, that's the one good thing, that the Cats don't pass a lot, because this is not the weather for that. A kick here from Aiden Lombardo, taking inside the 10, across the 15 to the 20, out across the 25 to near the 27-yard line. I believe that's Narine on the return, although we are like 3/4 of a mile away from the field, so
yes, we are.
Being able to tell what's what is going to be kind of interesting tonight. Although I do appreciate the fact that Lisle has those dark blue uniforms with white numbers, because you can see that from a long ways away. So once again, Keaton Hopwood will run the offense under center tonight for the Cats, as Wilmington will work out of that double wing. Oh, thank you.
Oh.
That might come in handy.
Yeah, that might.
I always have a set of binoculars, and then I never could seem to get them dialed in right, and
that would
it
be
ends
better.
up being an interesting mess. Out of the double wing here, handoff comes left side across the 25
Not much room.
and near the 30-yard line on the first carry of the night for, I believe that's Rodewald off the left side. He'll pick up 4 yards, 2nd down and 6. It's Jake Rodewald and Trey Shaw at the wingbacks. A.J. Myers will be at fullback tonight. And of course, that same offensive line across the board for the Cats. We'll go down through them as we go through the night. Lucas Spangler, Dave Schnittiger, Hunter Doherty in that tight end spot to the outside. Nick Gornick, Brad Stacy, all up front. Pitch comes near side, and this isn't going to get anywhere. Matter of fact, it's going to lose about 4 yards on the pitch to Rodewald. Good pursuit by the Lisle defense, and it will bring up 3rd and 9 for Wilmington. 10:50 to go opening quarter, and the Cats already in a hole.
Well, that was a good defensive play. The linebacker shot through the gap there and chased him down from behind as he was trying to wait for his blocking out front to form.
So 3rd down and 9. Let's see what Wilmington does here. Now, of course, the Cats don't pass a lot. And I don't know with this weather what we're going to see out of that either. Pitch comes back to Trey Shaw across the 30. Bangs ahead to near the 35. Gets out to the 34. Picks up about 6, close to 7. And the Wilmington offense is going to be forced to punt as it is 4th down and a long 3, close to 4.
Yeah, the Wildcats would have liked to set a standard with that first possession, but they were held to less than 1st down. Here they're going to go into punt formation.
So 4th down, we'll call it 3. Myers back to get set to kick this away. Double safety back deep here for Lisle, and we have a flag down, and it is
against
legal
Wilmington.
Formation or a legal procedure on the Wildcats. That will back it up 5 yards.
Boy, that's not the way you want to start.
Yeah, it hasn't been a good start tonight for the Cats, that's for sure. Myers is going to get set to punt it away again. Now the ball back inside the Wilmington 30 at the 29-yard line. Snap is low. In fact, it bounces in. A.J. Myers gets the kickoff. It is partially blocked, but it gets a Wilmington roll. This is not the way that the Wildcats wanted to start. It rolls dead at the Wilmington 43-yard line, and what a start for the Lisle Lions.
Boy.
Again, give A.J. Myers some credit because that ball bounced back to him, and he managed to at least corral it and get a kickoff.
I didn't think he was going to get the kickoff at all. I thought maybe he might try running with it.
A couple of weeks ago, he kicked the ball about 40 yards downfield after the ball was snapped over his head a good 20 yards.
Must be kind of a nervous position back there.
Well, let's see what Lisle has here. 1st and 10 from the Wilmington 43. Shotgun formation here. One running back to either side. And in motion to the far side goes Mike Walker. And the pitch comes ahead. And getting the corner is Demetrius King Jr. He's up the sideline inside the Wilmington 30 all the way down to the 20-yard line. But there is a flag down. Actually, 2 flags down. This would be a gain of about 22, but it's an illegal shift. There was something weird going on with that. I think they had 2 guys in motion is what it ended up being. Because to the far side, Mike Walker took off out of one of the running back positions, and before he gets set on the far side, King started in motion from the near side. It was a good play call.
And yeah, it ran for a lot of good yards, but this comes back for a loss of 5 yards.
Wilmington catches a break. It'll be 1st and 15 for Lisle from the Wilmington 48. Aiden Lombardo, a 6-foot junior out there for Lisle tonight. One receiver split out to the near side, one back in motion. King will get it coming near side, inside the 45, trying to get up the sideline down to the 40 before he's finally tripped up by Narine. And there's a big gain on first down. Picks up about 10 yards. I'll give them 9 as they back it up a yard or so here. It'll be 2nd down and 6. You can tell that speed of Demetrius King Jr. And Lisle wants to get him to the outside for sure. They know running up the middle isn't necessarily a good idea. They're going to mix it up tonight. Out of the shotgun, Lombardo with it. And now one receiver in motion back to the near side. It's King again, and again another flag. Demetrius King down to the Wilmington 36. 2 flags, so once again you're going to have an illegal shift. And the problem for Lisle is that this play has worked 3 times in a row.
And they've given up 2 of them.
But the procedure or the movement of the play, and I think the problem is, at least on that one, it looked like Demetrius King might have been moving forward. The idea is you can go obviously backward and you can go side to side, but you can't be in motion forward at the snap. And coming off that kind of slot receiver position, looked like maybe there might have been a little bit of an angle there. But 2nd down and 11 for Lisle from the 44 of Wilmington. And the handoff goes to left side, inside the 40, all the way down to the Wilmington 35-yard line. And that is Connor Negro, 5'11" junior for Lisle. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2. And so far, you can see the Lisle Lions game plan, which is get to the outside and use their speed. And they've got a lot of it. 3rd down and 2. One receiver split out to the near side. That is King. Out of the shotgun again is Lombardo. Takes the snap. And he'll hand it off right side. That's going to be enough for the 1st down. Not a lot there. A gain of about 3 for Brett Weber. And it will be 1st and 10 for Lisle from the Wilmington 32.
They've got good blocking up front. They so far have been able to run the ball very consistently, apart from their penalties.
One receiver split out to the near side. Again, Lombardo out of the shotgun with one back to his right. Now the wing back in motion, and keeping it is Lombardo, and that goes nowhere. Hunter Doherty there to stuff that run. Lombardo actually loses 2. It'll bring up 2nd down and 12 for Lisle from the Wilmington 34-yard line. Tell you one thing that Lombardo does very well, and that's the ball fake. Because at least from this distance, it's hard to tell who ends up with it. Of course, like we said, we're nowhere near anything.
No, we're certainly
it's
not.
a beautiful press box, beautiful facility, but we are not on top of the field per se. So one receiver in motion to the near side. There's another flag, and the pass comes deep down the sideline. That is incomplete, and Wilmington might decline this penalty. Actually, there are 2 more flags, and it's another false start on Lisle. I mean, my goodness. And more flags than they've had plays. And Wilmington will decline it. It will make it 3rd down and 12, close to 13 for Lisle from the Wilmington 34. And that's the problem for the Lions. If they have to get in a passing situation, tonight's not the night. And that's for Wilmington too, actually.
Not good weather for it.
To have to rely on the passing game.
And there's the light rain coming on down. It was raining harder just before the game started, but it's just a light rain right now.
6 minutes to go opening quarter. 3rd and 12 for Lisle from the Wilmington 34. Lombardo out of the shotgun here, takes the snap, drops back to pass, gets flushed out the left side, fires, caught inside the 20, inside the 10, all the way down near the 5-yard line before the receiver is finally bumped out of bounds. Believe that is Connor Negro on the reception. Give him 15 more. And it'll be 1st and goal for Lisle from the Wilmington 5. Again, one receiver to the near side. Wilmington hasn't really done a whole lot with this attack of Lisle. That's going to get down inside the 2 to the 1-yard line, almost into the end zone. went Mike Walker, and so far the Lions have had no problems with this Wilmington defense. Of course, like any other week, Lisle, I'm sure, throwing in wrinkles that the Wilmington coaching staff hasn't seen.
Yep.
And so that always poses a problem. One receiver to the near side, again, out of the shotgun. Lombardo, second and goal from just outside the one. Handoff goes to Walker, and I don't think he's going to get there. He doesn't. He's stacked up inside the 1 yard line by the interior of that Wilmington defense. It'll bring up third down and goal from the 1.
Yeah, it didn't look like he was able to crack in at all. He got stopped like against a rock wall.
So third down and goal from the 1. And a handoff comes right side, and that is going to go for a touchdown, but I mean just barely.
I didn't think he actually made it, but
it's enough as Brett Weber, the 6'3" sophomore, is that right? Scores for Lisle. Make it 6-0 Lions with 4:36 to go in the opening quarter. So 2-point conversion upcoming here for the Lions. Lombardo out of the shotgun, takes the snap and hands it left side. And this is going to go for 2, I think. Or is he short? No, just short. And looked for sure like Brett Weber was going to get in off the left side, but he does not. So the Wilmington defense holds as far as the extra point goes. 6-0 the lead for Lisle. 4:31 to go opening quarter. We're back with more Cats football in a moment on the Christian Internet Sports Network. Breezer Construction Company is a proud supporter of Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. For over 40 years, Breezer Construction Company has led the way in providing quality construction to the industrial, utility, and pipeline industries. For more information on Breezer Construction Company, go to breezerconstruction.com. That's breezerconstruction.com. Or call 815-521-0900. When you need the very best representation on your side, the attorneys and staff at Odekirk Allred & Associates are here to help with extensive professional experience in cases involving criminal defense, divorce, custody, personal injury, residential real estate, and driver's license reinstatement. Odekirk Allred & Associates and its diverse team is prepared to commit personalized attention and aggressive representation to achieve positive outcomes for your most stressful legal issues. Odekirk Allred & Associates has a team of highly skilled attorneys from the area, including Wilmington locals. Odekirk Allred & Associates takes pride in its communication skills and unmatched reputation for success. Contact Odekirk Allred & Associates at 815-740-1700 or stop by their new office location in Wilmington at 1095 South Water Street for your free consultation today. Well, here comes the rain again, and there's a little bit of thunder going on too. So far, though, things continue to be played here. The Cats had a nice return all the way out to the 40 by Jack Narine, and then all of a sudden it gets erased by a penalty that puts the ball back to the 21. So far, Wilmington struggling on both sides of the ball.
this is our typical visit to Lisle. Everything kind of gets unnormal.
So a handoff comes to the fullback off the near side, 30, 35, 40, up the middle. This is Myers all the way down to the Lisle 43-yard line. A gain of 34 yards for A.J. Myers right up the gut. And Wilmington with the first down to the Lisle 45-yard line. And that is what happens when you key on the wingbacks.
Boy,
He tried to take them away. All of a sudden, A.J. is right there.
Sort of burst at good speed just as he crossed the line of scrimmage. Got him open, and the last guy I think who was available finally got him.
1st and 10 from the Lisle 45. Trey Shaw bounces it back inside the 35. Shaw up the sideline to the 20, 15, 10, 5. See you later. Touchdown,
Whoa.
Trey Shaw.
Yes.
35 yards.
Ooh, there was lightning.
And it's now all tied up at 6. And, boy, was there a whole bunch of lightning just then. And somehow,
didn't set it off.
I don't hear the alarm going off anyway. So Wilmington, after the 35-yard touchdown run from Trey Shaw, will get set for the extra point here in the midst of rain and thunderstorms and all kinds of things. So good snap, good hold. The kick is good by Richards, and Wilmington takes a 7-6 lead. 3:45 to go up in a quarter. Take a break. Back with more Cats football in a moment on the Christian Internet Sports Network. The launching pad is back, and the kitchen is now open 7 days a week. The iconic Route 66 restaurant is now serving Italian beef, Chicago-style hot dogs, malts, shakes, and their famous dirtworm sundaes. During your stop at the launching pad, check out the Route 66 gift shop and get your picture taken with the Gemini Giant. Cruise on over to 810 East Baltimore Street in Wilmington and visit the launching pad today. Warren's Collision Center is now at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. They accept all insurance companies, and as always, customer service is their top priority. Contact Warren's Collision at 815-458-3300, stop by online at warrenscollision.com, or visit in person at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. Warren's Collision Center is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair. Well, here we go. 7-6 is the lead for Wilmington with 3:45 to go in our opening quarter. And just like that, lightning has shut everything down. And the weird part is from all of this is that every time there's a lightning strike from now till whenever, it restarts a 30-minute clock. And that 30-minute clock is before they'll even let you back on the field. And then you still need another, whatever it is, 10, 15 minutes of warm-up time. And by then, if there's another lightning strike, you leave, and it's another half hour. So anybody that's been to Benedictine before has been through this particular thing. We were up here for a baseball game, that was a while ago now, 7 or 8 years ago, and we sat here for a good 3 or 4 hours, and it just kept re-racking over and over and over, and then sooner or later you're like, okay, well, I guess that's it. We're all going to go home. And, you know, I can't imagine, quite honestly, I can't imagine this game's going to be played tonight.
I really can't either.
I'm really surprised that they even tried to, because with the weather, you know, it's 90% chance of thunderstorms or whatever from now till midnight. And every time you got to take the entire team back off the field, and then everybody's wet, and, you know, you sit there for a couple hours and you come back out, and you got to try to get it going again. And then all of a sudden, you know, another lightning strike, and then you're back out for an hour or two. So,
you know, they can't do that more than once or twice, and it's going to get too late to carry on the game. So,
and looking at radar and everything, I mean, I just don't see it. And really, honestly, if you look at the forecast for tomorrow, it's not a whole lot better. I mean, they're saying at least a 60% chance of storms tomorrow. And I think it gets better as the day goes on. But the problem for Lisle is that they actually have homecoming dance and everything tomorrow night. So, you know, what do you do with that? Do you try to schedule it, you know, in the morning or something, and then wait and hope you can get it in at some point? Do you just go Saturday afternoon or Saturday evening and suspend the homecoming activities for Lisle? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is there. But no matter what, at the moment, this thing is suspended. And I guess I might as well go ahead and put on here that we're in a...
Yeah, it's a storm forecast, slight risk. I think I'm still in Coal City on mine, so...
A slight risk? Yeah, I think that's probably...
that's in Coal City. So that's not up here.
Well, it's been an interesting start to this game. Lisle, I was trying to see if they were going to make another announcement here, which they are, but I don't think it's any additional information.
Now, it looks like this group is moving off, and there's a clear place behind it for a ways. And there's no big groups of yellow after that for a while, so maybe they could get a little bit in. I don't know.
Well, the thing for Lisle at this point, they started this game off strong. They stopped Wilmington on their first offensive possession, and the Cats had all kinds of issues with the snap on the punt. A.J. Myers somehow got that off, and then Piatone. See, I'm thinking
Lisle.
about other things. Lisle got the ball at the Wilmington 43 and then proceeded to go straight down the field, despite getting, 4 penalties on that drive.
Yeah,
The Lions went straight down the field and scored a touchdown. Wilmington got the ball back, and after a nice run back by Narine out to the 40, a penalty brought it back to the Wilmington 21, and then all of a sudden you had an A.J. Myers run for 35 yards. They got the ball inside Lisle territory, and then almost immediately after that, a Trey Shaw run, which gets the ball all the way into the end zone, and the extra point by Richards. And now we sit here under this weather delay, and now we play. Remember back in 20 years ago, 25 years ago, they used to have like rain delay theater. You watch a game on WGN or whatever.
Oh yes.
And they would sit there and they would talk for like 45 minutes and about nothing because no one knew what to do. And then all of a sudden they'd be like, okay, we're going to show this 1935 John Wayne classic. And it just put like rain delay on the thing. And then for 4 hours it'd just be showing random movies or whatever until somebody decided whatever it is they were going to do.
Well, do you remember? I think you were with me. We were in White Sox Park, and we were watching the Bulls.
I do remember that. Yeah, the Bulls won the champion. I do remember that because we were at a game, and it went to a rain delay in whatever it was in the 6th inning or so, and then they had a rain delay for an hour and a half and finished that game at like 11:30 or midnight. And in between that, they put the Bulls game up on the big screen, and we watched the Bulls win the championship. I do remember that. That was an odd situation. I also remember at the end of that night, they had they played till midnight or whatever, and there were a group of kids, teenagers or whatever, and there was one in the left field bleachers, one in the center field bleachers, and one in the right field bleachers, and they were the only people out there. They just ran out there and decided they were gonna, go stand amongst everything by themselves.
They had the whole bleachers to themselves.
I think there were probably like a couple hundred people or something left by the time they got that thing re-going.
That was quite a night.
Well, in case you're wondering, you log on here and you go, why in the world are they talking about White Sox games from 20 years ago or 15 years ago, whatever? Because we're in rain delay theater, actually lightning delay theater. Up here at Benedictine, they are under a lightning delay, so you're not going to get anything for at least a half hour. And, of course, we put up there on the screen the weather delay. Wilmington leading at 7-6. We are under 4 minutes to go opening quarter. And so we have at least, at a bare minimum, a half hour to sit here and do whatever. And that could be a problem because
could be.
I would say I have a lot of stuff to talk about. I don't have anything. So
you remember the time the White Sox was winning the World Series, and we were on the way to do a tournament in Kansas City, stopped off at your grandmother's, and we thought we got it made. We can watch the game. And
she didn't have the channel.
And she went next door with the lady next door. We were going to watch it on her TV. We couldn't find it. Next morning, she says, I had to watch this baseball game next door.
Yeah. One time I wanted to, I remember that whole thing.
Oh, that was something else. That's one of those days that will live in infamy.
Well, I mean, we've been to Benedictine a number of times, and we've had lightning delays and everything up here before. And tonight is no different. The problem is we don't really know what's going to happen as far as a time frame here. Everybody is cleared off the field. They have to give it 30 minutes. and that's if there's not another lightning strike. And with that ridiculous computerized system, if there's a lightning strike within whatever it is, 40 miles or something, they go ahead and set it off, and then we sit here longer.
Now, it looks like the yellow part is about to vacate our area, and we might have a bit of a reprieve here for a while. But to get a whole football game in, I don't know.
We can talk about a few things here anyway. Wilmington, a 51-28 winner at Manteno last week, and we can kind of recap some of that. As a matter of fact, let's go back to the scoring plays for that Manteno game as Keaton Hopwood scored on a 1-yard run with 5:43 to go in that first quarter. Then Trey Shaw with a 54-yard touchdown run at the 2:01 mark of the first quarter. Then after that, what they think might be the longest run in Wilmington history is Jake Rodewald's 96-yard touchdown run that happened at 7:20 in the second quarter. Now, no one has for sure gotten that figured out, but they think that might indeed be the case, as a 96-yard touchdown run for Rodewald last week. Then you had a 4-yard touchdown run for Rodewald at the 4:05 mark of the quarter. And then what was probably the most interesting thing about last week is the fact that Richards come out there, Alan Richards, and hits a 41, 42-yard field goal, depending on how you're looking at it, and had plenty of distance, too. Probably could have hit that thing from 50 yards.
It was pretty well right down the middle, too. It wasn't a squeaker.
Which was interesting because that's one of those things where, somewhere down the line that might become a necessity. Then Keaton Hopwood scores in a 1-yard touchdown run at the 6:57 mark of the third quarter. Trey Shaw scores again from 1 yard out at the 4:05 mark of that third quarter. And then Rodewald a 65-yard run at the end of the third. And then, of course, fourth quarter, everybody kind of in there, and Manteno gets a couple of scores. There are still some injuries to talk about. Matt Sanchez unable to go again this week. Cody Franzen also out. Humphreys is out at that cornerback spot. And so there's a lot of stuff missing tonight for Wilmington. But on the positive side of things, it looks like most of them will be back here, if not relatively shortly, for sure before the end of the regular season, which is good.
When Cody had a broken collarbone?
That was the worry, that he broke his collarbone. But
they found out later on, the x-rays and so forth, that's not true. And he might be back in another week or so. So that'll be a real lift.
Well, and then when you look at some things that happened last week, you had Tyler Willis come in and get an interception and playing some defensive back spots there. You also had Jack Narine, who is playing at that spot because of some injuries, who picked off, I think, a couple of passes last week. The one over the middle where he just jumped the route was an impressive interception.
That was beautiful.
And, of course, Narine doing some kick returning duties and some other things. So the Cats getting a lot of assistance from different people on this particular roster. And, Wilmington continues to make use of playing everyone on a weekly basis. If they're up by 30 or 40, that second string, third string's coming in, and that's a big benefit when you look down the line. But you look at this year, Trey Shaw went down with an injury in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Cody Franzen comes in. He's now out with an injury. Humphreys goes down. Sanchez goes down. And you have all of these guys that you're trying to place guys into those spots. And not only this year, but last year with a lot of experience they get. It pays dividends in the fact that the moment's not too big for them, and they can come in and kind of do what they got to do.
Yeah, and the thing that's unique about the injuries this year is that all of them are defensive backs. And so the backfield there for the pass defense, boy, that's really putting some question marks in there. And yet the guys have stepped right in and really done a pretty good job.
Well, in case you're just now joining us here tonight, I realize it's a weird start time at 5 o'clock. They thought they might be able to squeeze it in here between all of these thunderstorms. Right now, it looks pretty rough. I mean, I'll have to say, I haven't seen a lot of lightning lately, but there is some rain. I mean, a lot of it.
Rain is coming on down.
And there's rain coming for a little while here. Maybe there's a window in time where they can kind of sneak back out here and give it one more shot. But the way things are regenerating with this system, I hate to sound like Tom Skilling because I have no idea what I'm doing with the weather forecast, but looking at radar and stuff, the way things are kind of popping up, it would be a surprise if you can get through the rest of this thing.
Yeah, it does look on the radar as that we've got a little break coming in here now, that we won't have any bad storms for a little while. But we got to go a half hour just to get back on the field again. So,
well, that's true. So we're in the midst of the radio version of Rain Delay Theater. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about some other matchups going on around the area. Well, supposedly tonight. Most of them will probably happen tomorrow. But we'll get to that here in just a few minutes. And then hopefully at some point here we'll have some sort of update for you. At the moment, we have a lightning delay, which every time there is a lightning strike, there is a 30-minute period in between that and being able to come back out in the field. So it could be a half hour. It could be 6 hours. It just depends. So we're going to stick with it for a little while until we hear something different. Take a break, come back with more. You're listening to Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. Warren's Collision Center is now at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. They accept all insurance companies, and as always, customer service is their top priority. Contact Warren's Collision at 815-458-3300, stop by online at warrenscollision.com, or visit in person at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. Warren's Collision Center is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair. Quigley Technology Services is your local source for computer help. They have built numerous websites, including ours here at the Christian Internet Sports Network. Quigley Technology Services also specializes in virus removal, so your computer will get back to full speed now. And you can trust them for first-class computer repair, including free local pickup and delivery, plus on-site service, including after hours. Contact Quigley Technology Services at 815-293-7844 or stop by at quigtech.com. That's Q-U-I-G tech.com.
Heroin. I am Matt Baskerville. As a funeral director in Will County, I can tell you firsthand that I have seen results of heroin overdose.
Plainfield Shorewood, 4 dead. Lockport, 5 dead. I am Reagan Freitag. As Wilmington's local prosecutor and Will County board member, I can tell you I have seen the trouble and hardships of addictions.
Frankfort, Mokina, New Lenox, 6 dead. Bolingbrook, Romeoville, 6 dead. In Wilmington and Braidwood, heroin equals death or arrest.
Wilmington, Braidwood, 8 dead. Thanks to efforts of our local police departments, that number has dropped from 8 deaths in 2015 to 2 deaths so far in 2016.
If your family, your friend, or you are suffering from heroin addiction, there is help. Please call 815-476-1660 for more information.
Help is only a phone call away.
This ad is brought to you by the Wilmington Coalition for a Healthy Community in partnership with ONDCP and SAMHSA.
Phelan Acres Bible Church is the perfect place if you are looking for a church to call home. They have services every week, including Sunday school at 9:45, morning worship at 11, and Wednesday night prayer meetings at 7. Phelan Acres Bible Church is located at 26009 Willow Lane in Wilmington, Illinois. And for more information, call 815-476-7818. That's 815-476-7818. Back here on the Christian Internet Sports Network, 7-6 is the lead for Wilmington. We are in a weather delay. Man, there's rain coming out all over the place, thunder. It has been lightning. I mean, not lightning, but the sky has been lightening up a little bit, although we have seen some lightning too. But it wasn't quite as dark here as it has been the last little bit. You know, there's a bunch of us up here in the press box just talking about some things. And, you know, rumor has it that Saturday is going to be tough to get it done. And so when do you look to put I know that's why they moved it up tonight. They're trying everything they can to get it in tonight because when you play here at Benedictine, there are numerous things that happen on this field. I mean, there's football, which I think is away for a couple of weeks, but you have soccer here. I think does Benedictine have lacrosse too? They do, don't they?
Have what?
Lacrosse? I thought they did. But
Well,
whatever it is,
probably.
there's a lacrosse field thing
They
out
do
there,
have-
so I'm sure there's somebody plays it here.
They do have a soccer game here tomorrow afternoon, so
Yeah, and
that would.
and anytime you get into Saturday and whatever, there's always tons of stuff going on campus. I don't know. That's a really interesting, what do you do if this doesn't work? And I guess you just wait a while here tonight and see
Somebody
if somehow
said-
you can get it in.
One of the guys said, "Well, switch it to the Wilmington field," but boy, that would be a muddy
Oof.
mess after a little while.
Yeah, that'd be rough. Oh, it would not. I mean, that would take like 5 minutes, and it would be a mud pit, I think.
Yeah, 'cause
So
all this rain coming down on that.
I don't know if there is a good option, honestly. I mean, I guess the big thing is that you started at 5 tonight, so you let it ride for a while and see if, the forecast ends up being wrong somewhere and you got a window of 2 or 3 hours. Looking at things for tomorrow, now, even if they said, okay, we'll come back, we'll try to play this at like noon or 1 o'clock or something tomorrow. Looking at the weather forecast for tomorrow for here, it's 60% chance of thunderstorms. Supposed to be, wait, let me look back. Actually, I think that might be the wrong. For some reason, this thing continues to want to, if I click on one day, it gives me the next day after that for some reason. I don't know. The app must be all messed up. So let me pull it back up here while I'm taking a look at it. Of course, now it wants to act all goofy. Let's see. Tomorrow, it's, 60% chance of rain, although 30% chance of thunderstorms during the day. So maybe, but tomorrow night, it's 60% chance of thunderstorms.
Ooh.
So it's not going away. And during the day, maybe, but if there are other events here that they're using the field for, whether it's practices or games or you got to work around this schedule here at the university, and that's a whole nother deal. So I think everyone's just kind of crossing fingers and holding out hope that it just gets done tonight somehow, that they manage to get it in. But looking at what we're seeing right now, matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and let me pull up the radar here. Oh, did you say there's a tornado watch? Oh, great. Well, that's outstanding.
Now we
Apparently
got a
there's
tornado watch.
tornado watch in the western part of the state. I'm sure. Hey, what the chances that the stuff out west is coming this way? Only like 100%.
About 100%, yeah.
Yeah, and there's not. I mean, I'm literally looking at the radar right now, and there might be a little window in here where if you got guys out and got it going, you might be able to get it in. But the key is the lightning.
Yeah.
If it stops raining and all that goes away, if there's lightning strikes around, then it keeps kicking it back another half hour. So
the rain is not the problem.
no,
And
especially
really-
on this field, it could rain for days, and this field would be fine.
Yeah, this is a wonderful field to have a rain problem with because it doesn't bother it.
Well, in case you're jumping on here, and I wish we had more information for you, but at the moment, it's information is a little bit rough to come by because I think everybody is kind of in the same position as us, which is wait and see what happens. But in case you're just jumping on and trying to figure out what's going on, Wilmington leads Lisle 7-6 with under 4 minutes. I can't see the scoreboard from where I'm sitting right now.
3:45.
All right, 3:45 to go in the first quarter. Wilmington leads Lisle 7-6. Basically what happened is Wilmington got the ball first and did not go anywhere. Matter of fact, only gained, 1 yard on that drive. And then the Cats tried to punt it away, and the ball kind of rolled back to Myers. He managed to pick it up and got the kickoff. This is now the second time that there was an errant snap, and Myers managed to save it. Although it did roll dead at the Wilmington 43. Lisle got a truckload of false start or illegal procedure penalties or whatever, and still managed to go straight down the field and score a touchdown. However, they tried to go for 2, did not convert the 2-point conversion, only got to inside the 1 yard line. Wilmington gets the ball back again. Jack Narine returns it all the way back out to the Wilmington 41. A penalty for Wilmington backs that up 20 yards to the Wilmington 21. And then almost immediately, two plays happened that were big gainers for the Cats. One was A.J. Myers off that fullback spot, getting all the way down inside of Benedictine territory. I want to say 35-yard run or somewhere in that neighborhood.
35.
And then from there, Trey Shaw took off, and he cruised into the end zone. And quickly, Wilmington got on the board, and then the extra point from Richards gave the Cats a 7-6 lead. And it was immediately at that point that we got into this lightning delay here, and everybody's sitting around waiting.
It was a nice, crisp, clear-cut place to have a break. You don't have to worry about it. You got to have a kickoff to start off the
that's true.
In the game, so don't have to worry about ball placement or anything like that.
You'd like to think that people are thinking a little bit ahead tonight, and when they get within 10 or 15 minutes of coming back out, that they're in the gym over there warming up.
Yeah.
Field house, and they're warming up, and so when they don't have to come out here and warm up, they just come out here and start playing, because ultimately that's what they need to do. There can't be any time wasted. I mean, if you're going to get guys back out here in a half hour, and then you're going to take another 20 minutes to get everybody ready to go, now you've used another hour, and by then there's going to be another
storm in here.
Yeah, you want to try to get things going as quick as you can when you get to that particular point.
And the thing about this is, in this early part of the season, this is a key matchup.
It is. This is a big
two
one.
of the powerhouses of the conference meeting, and number 2 in the state and number 10 in the state in rankings. And this is a very important game.
Depending on where I think Lisle might be up as high as 7 or 8. Some of them.
Wow.
So it's it's definitely a top 10 matchup in 3A, and a couple of teams. Lisle has given Wilmington fits in the past, particularly here.
Right here.
Because it's just an odd scenario whenever you come up here. It's a beautiful facility, but you're so far away from anything, and it's such a big amount of stands and not very many people here. And in contrast with Wilmington and all the big stuff going on, it's just kind of a dead zone. And so you have to overcome that. And then, Lisle does a really good job, it seems, a lot of times of being ready for Wilmington. They are. So it makes it interesting.
Lisle's, on a regular basis, is a really hard team for Wilmington to play. It seems like Lisle's always ready. And
Lisle's usually pretty big up front. And they've got a couple of backs that can do some damage. And then it seems like they always have a quarterback who is good enough to be able to give the Cats a little bit of trouble. And tonight, to be honest, Lisle started off with that jet sweep kind of offense and kept pitching it back and forth to King. Now, they kept shooting themselves in the foot with illegal shift penalties and illegal procedures and everything else. But that was an interesting way to come out and kind of repeatedly go to that play. And it worked 3 or 4 times in a row. The problem for them was they kept backing up. But then Wilmington still didn't stop them, and they went straight down the field and scored. So it's for the Cats, I think it's a benefit that if it keeps raining like this, if you can keep the lightning away, if it keeps raining like this, it helps because it takes a lot of that pass offense out of Lisle's hands. I mean, they're still going to try to take some shots.
Oh, yeah.
But they won't be able to air it out as much as they would on another night. I know Lisle usually runs a lot, but you see Wilmington when they match up, the teams tend to like to attack the Wilmington through the air instead of on the ground for obvious reasons.
Yeah, especially with 4 guys out hurt, so.
Well, let's see. How far are we into I don't even know where we were with this delay. So this has been rambling on, so I don't. It's had to
have like 20 minutes into it, don't we?
I would think so, but the key is though, did that system recognize any other lightning strikes? Because if so, you can throw another 20 minutes on top of.
You want to go out and unplug it?
We were joking around about that up here earlier. Like, there's been a lot of lightning. I wonder if somebody just unplugged the system. Like, oh, well, in 3 or 4 hours, it'll magically come back on. But, no, I mean, of course, we joke, but we want everybody to be safe and be playing in a.
Oh, yeah, it's not worth
in a good environment.
No.
So, but those systems do tend to aggravate me because I've been around places where, as blue skies here and 25 miles away somewhere, there's a lightning strike and there's more lightning right there.
That's what happened to us in that baseball game. There was no lightning around here at all. We couldn't see any that time, and we sat. Finally, they just called the game. But we never saw lightning. But it was somewhere in the area.
Well, we talked about Coal City and Streeter.
No, we
I don't
didn't.
know if we did that. Okay. Coal City and Streeter apparently have already been postponed until tomorrow. But that's going to be rough, too. I mean, down there in Streeter, if it's rained a ton, that field is going to get tore up. And, I mean, in a hurry. Because all the rain we're having tonight, it's a flash flood watch for most of northern Illinois. There's already been a ton of rain.
And it's coming down now, too.
It is. And apparently there's some sort of tornado watch out in the western part of the state. And that stuff is, going to be headed this way, too. So there are a lot of different factors to look at here, and it's continuing to. I mean, I've seen a lot of lightning lately. I mean, it's not cloud to ground, but just lightning in the sky, and
kind of a light up.
Every time that lightning happens, you can tack on another half hour. And for now, I mean, there's no. It's not like we have a screen in front of us that says, "Okay, here's your countdown to when they're coming back out." Oh, nope, there's a lightning strike. Let's start the countdown back over. So it's.
And we have to assume that when it sees lightning, it does start over.
Well,
I haven't had the chance to see Coal City play, but boy, they seem to be like the real thing this year.
Yeah, they definitely are the real deal. There's no doubt about that. And with Bishop McNamara and that whole match, of course, you saw Coal City and them. And then Bishop McNamara plays IC and is beating IC almost the entire game. And then at the end, the Immaculate Conception and Bishop Mac go back and forth, and IC gets the win. But still, it went down to the final whistle.
Yes, it did.
And Coal City, took it to Bishop Mac earlier. So, whenever we saw IC, I'm like, you know what? I don't think anybody's beaten Immaculate Conception. But looking at some of that, I don't know. Coal City's got size. They have speed. There's a few different weapons there. That's going to be trouble in 4A. And, I mean, I know there's a lot of – 4A is one of those divisions where it's just, like, piled on top of, and there's just a lot up there. And so you win that thing, man, you really deserve it. 3A is loaded in the top half. I mean, if you look in the northern part of the state, there's all kinds of, great teams up here. Now, the southern part of the state gets a little tricky outside of Williamsville, because Williamsville is usually in that south part, and they're ranked number 1 right now. There's so much packed into the northern half of the state in 3A that, every time you look at the playoff brackets and you go, what in the world? How are all these teams in one part of the bracket? And then, you get what you get. So,
yeah, it is amazing. There's the competition up here and beating each other around. It takes a little out of you when you get down to the state championship run. So you just have to try to tough it out.
Well, once again, we are in a weather delay specifically for lightning, and we've seen plenty recently. I mean, not cloud to ground. It's just kind of in the clouds. But if that thing is detected anywhere, anytime there is a lightning strike in, there's more right there. Anytime there's one of those, you can restart the 30-minute clock. And we've been in these patterns before. Where you remember Coal City, over at Coal City?
Oh, yes.
And that was, I forget how many years ago. We had one. Didn't we have one last year, too?
About 4 years ago or 5 years ago.
Or was that 2?
Man, the storm hit.
Yeah, and then a few years ago it was at Coal City that we had a bunch of weather.
Boy, that was a fierce
and that one, the one that was at Coal City, we sat there for whatever that was, 3 or 4 hours until it was like 9:30 or 10, and then they tried to do something different with it. Last year it was not quite as bad because the weather was so bad early in that thing. I mean, you want to talk about a torrential downpour. There was just no way that was going to be playable. And so they pulled the plug on that relatively early. But tonight, I know for both ADs, particularly the AD from Lisle, I know that in any other circumstance, this game would have been canceled and it would already been rescheduled. But knowing what we know between schedules from both of these schools, it's homecoming weekend for Lisle. They got the dance tomorrow night. There's other things going on at Benedictine here at this field. And so when you look at that, where do you go? I mean, there were some, some things being said about Sunday. I just don't see any way that both schools would agree to that. But you have Monday then, but can you do that? I mean, can you play Monday
with the game Friday?
And can you turn around and play Friday? And I'm not sure that that's a possibility. So it becomes, what do you do?
Well, then you take the next Fridays and put it on Saturdays? So give them another day? Boy, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
You need a certain amount of turnaround time in football to get your body and everything ready to play again.
Though there's no doubt about that. And, is 5 days enough? I'm not sure. Actually, it actually ends up being more like 4 days. You got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So it's really 4 days between games. And albeit this part of the schedule isn't, coming up isn't the big, Coal City and Peatone are there at the end. Coal City and Peatone are 8 and 9. But you have Herscher and Reed Custer. Actually, I think it's Reed Custer next week, and then Herscher, and both of them are at home for Wilmington. So it's a different part of the schedule. It's not that gauntlet part of the schedule. But even still, to play 2 games in 5 days seems like a lot to ask.
That'd be tough.
I don't really know what else you do, because it's not like college or NFL or whatever where there's a bye week somewhere in there, and you can throw a game in a makeup weekend and make it. That doesn't exist.
Yeah, we don't have those things.
So it almost comes down to, can you play it like tomorrow morning? Let's say the Benedictine has a soccer game. I think it's at 5 or something tomorrow. 5. So they're going to want this field way before that. I mean, so you got to figure you need to be out of here at least by 3. And at that point, is there anything else? I don't know if there's other practices scheduled on it. I don't know if there's other events that take place on it. Is there? So that, I don't know. The only thing that I can think in my mind that's a possibility is tomorrow morning. But I don't know if you'd ever get that redone, because by the time you get home tonight, and there's more lightning.
Yep.
So that was significant lightning. And by the time you get home tonight, and then, what is it now, 6, and you got traffic all over the place. Let's say you even left out of here by 7 and you're home by 9, to be back up here then by 9 or 10. I think that's just asking a lot. But
and to get home tonight, you got to go through all the traffic problem down toward Wilmington with the working on the bridge.
We saw 55.
Yeah, it was not
leaving.
Good.
Now, on a regular Friday, it's usually backed up at least to Bluff. Maybe it might get up there to 6, where Shanahan is. Tonight, when we left, and that was at 3 o'clock, it was back up to 80. And so I can't imagine what that's like now, because it's gotten worse. It hasn't gotten better. So, I mean, there's other options. You could take 355 to 80 and go back to 53 and, and cut down that way. But still, that's extra time. I don't know.
Can you imagine
it's the only reason they're trying to play it tonight, is that there isn't anywhere else to put it.
Yeah, otherwise they would probably already cancel it.
Oh, yeah, I know they would have. They wouldn't have had everybody come up here, to sit here for hours. That doesn't help a whole lot. But let's talk for a minute. Actually, you know what? Let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll talk about what happens when you have a situation like this. And for Coach Reitz and the Wildcats, they had some things planned, because they've gotten caught with this before. This is the 3rd year in a row now. They had some things planned as far as options, and we'll talk about what that is when you look at a football team that just has to sit around for 2 or 3 hours. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more in a moment. You're listening to Wilmington Wildcats football, albeit during a lightning delay, here on the Christian Internet Sports Network. If you're looking for more information on Wilmington Wildcats football, then check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Each week, Coach Reitz goes over game film, takes questions from the audience, and presents the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week awards. Plus, you'll get to hang out with other Wildcat fans and get the inside scoop on next week's game. So be sure to check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Teresa's Family Styling Salon in Wilmington is an all-ages salon that will style your hair for that special look. They offer cuts, perms, and coloring for any fashion. They also carry Paul Mitchell and Brocato products. Teresa's Family Styling Salon is located in the Southgate Plaza in Wilmington, and you can call for an appointment at 815-476-1955. That's 815-476-1955.
Tomorrow, and I can't be all hungover from drinking. Yeah, I'm having enough trouble with school and sports and clubs and so much stuff. I don't have time to be worrying about if I got caught drunk.
Come on, man. This will help relax your mind and worries, and you'll have a good time.
Oh, man, cops. Run. We better book it out of here.
I'm so glad we weren't stupid and didn't drink. I know, right?
The Wilmington Coalition for a Healthy Community is committed and proud to bring programs and resources to help area residents. Our mission is to build a safe, productive, and substance-free community through these programs. The issues and problems that come with alcohol and drug abuse are very real, and the effects can be devastating. If you or anyone you know is in need of help, please call 815-476-1660. Help is only a phone call away.
This ad is brought to you by the Wilmington Coalition for a Healthy Community in partnership with Sebring Goodman Teen Institute, ONDCP, and SAMHSA.
Pro Real Estate is a family-owned business established in 1983. Its staff and sales agents work in all areas of real estate sales, from first-time homebuyers to experienced investors. Located at 506 South Water Street in Wilmington, clients are welcome to stop by to discuss their real estate needs or visit our website at pro-homes.net. For a private consultation, contact us at 815-476-7916. Back here on, I guess, Lightning Radio at this point. 7-6 is the lead for Wilmington. We're in the middle of a weather delay. There's been lightning. I mean, at best, we're a half hour out from now, and that's if there's not any more lightning.
Guess what? It's raining.
I really need. Is there a way to patch into the lightning system here so I can see every time this thing gets re-racked? Because it's like we're up here just randomly guessing as to what's going to happen next.
We have a nice view of the empty field.
We do. Oh, I know what we're going to do. We're going to talk about what team does during this particular scenario whenever there's a lightning delay and everybody's just kind of hanging out. We were talking about this the other night at Catbackers and kind of what happens, and they were going to have a plan in place with parents and everyone else to have things there for them to eat, healthy things.
Oh.
You know, fruit and other stuff.
Maybe we should go check on it.
They were joking that I want to say it was somebody had 2 slices of pizza. Went to the concession stand and got pizza or something the last time, and no, that's not a great idea. So they were coming up with some healthier options for them, and even bringing some replacement stuff. You know, dry socks and things like that to not have to sit there and be soaked for the next 2 or 3 hours. And so they do a lot of preparation with that, and as a staff, actually, they had talked a lot going into this week, or into tonight, between Wednesday and today, about the approach. What do we do? If we have to sit out, how do we get them ready to come back? And just a bunch of different scenarios, because there aren't a lot of sports that have to deal with that other than baseball and softball sometimes have to do that. And, of course, soccer every now and then. But all the indoor sports, you never have to worry about that. Although I will say I have been in a few places. One, at a national tournament. We were down in Tennessee up on a mountain in the middle of a gym, and the power went off. So they had some storm roll through, and they were supposed to be playing whatever championship volleyball match or something that night. Storm rolls through, knocks all the power out, and everybody just sitting there staring at each other going, okay, we all have to leave in 8 hours to go back home because they're all driving from all over the country. What do you do with this? We can't see to do anything. Eventually, they did get the power back on later in the night, but that it just makes for odd scenarios. And what do you do, and how do you prep for that? I don't think there is a way to. So,
did they do anything special for the kids to do while?
No. Literally, everybody just sat around. It did not all. There's some emergency lights or something, battery-powered emergency lights or something that worked for a while. So it wasn't real bad, but it definitely wasn't. I mean, it was dark. Yeah, I've been in some odd scenarios where things have been, canceled or whatever for some odd things. I've been in places where moisture on the court has canceled stuff. I had, things leaking all over the place. There's all kinds of different weird scenarios.
Remember we were at the Homeschool World Series and the storm moved in and it rained so hard that it was 2 inches deep?
Couldn't get out. I remember that because we said, we'll just grab our stuff. And it was, I don't know, a few hundred feet or something to our car. It wasn't that far, maybe 500 feet or something to our car. So, you know what? We're just going to grab our stuff and we're going to sprint out to the car. And we'll make it. We'll be fine. We're under this tent tarp thing and standing in water. It had rained so hard.
2 inches deep, yeah.
We're standing, and it's covered our shoes. I remember I had to go buy more shoes that trip because it completely decimated everything.
We were literally on the sidewalk. It was a whole sidewalk area behind the.
I remember we had all of our electrical equipment and all that sitting there.
The whole thing was flooded.
Yeah, so we go, we'll just sprint over to the car. It'll be fine. I remember that. We sprinted the 500 feet or whatever to the car, and we were so wet. We got in the car, you could wring water out of our clothes.
Oh, boy, yep.
I think that was the hardest rain for something that wasn't,
a
hurricane or tornado or something. That was the hardest rain I have ever seen.
Man, I mean, it came down. It could not drain off the field and the sidewalks fast enough. It literally was covered with water.
And that field is so amazing. They got done with that thing.
And played.
It dried off and they played.
Yep, they played. They had that kind of drainage in that field.
And that's a real grass field too.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that was an impressive situation.
We've seen our number of things in our trips. Did somebody say something?
Yeah, no. Somebody's getting fired up for something.
Oh, okay.
I don't think we're seeing any football anytime soon, I'll tell you that.
Oh, wow.
The skies are lighter than they have been, but the problem is the lightning has kind of persisted. So the rain has gone away for the most part.
You remember that time you had the national tournament at the place where the basketball originated?
Oh, yeah, out at Geneva College or whatever it was?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they claimed that's where it
that's
was like 5 places that claim they have the first college basketball
They
game.
kept the old gym and still use it some.
Rutgers claims that for college football.
Really?
Yeah. That's where college football began. Out of all the places in America, it should be like, you know what? That place would be perfect for college football beginning. Rutgers is not it.
No, I wouldn't rank it too high.
We were talking, speaking of weird, I was the other day, we were talking about something that has to do with like biggest blowouts in college football history or something. I was talking with somebody about that. And there was a game that Georgia Tech, I think it wasn't Georgia Tech, beat somebody like 227-0.
Oh, the Rambling Wreck of Georgia Tech.
And it was a weird scenario because the college they were supposed to play disbanded their football team at the end of the year before. And Georgia Tech, I think it was Georgia Tech, it was some other major college, had a contract with that college and they were going to enforce it. So they said, listen, if you don't have a football team and you don't play a game, you're going to owe us whatever it is, X amount of dollars. And so what they did was, this is no joke, there was a guy in a fraternity that went around campus and got a bunch of frat guys to go out, not a team, nothing whatsoever. This was like just backyard football. He got a bunch of frat guys to go and put on uniforms and play. I think it was Georgia Tech. They gave up 65 in the first quarter. 97% of the plays run in that game were run on their side of the 50-yard line.
Oh, no. Oh, my.
In fact, it was so bad at one point that one of the guys on the team that was getting annihilated went and sat on the wrong side of the field, went and sat with the other team, and the coach of that team went and put a jacket or a coat or whatever over him, and he goes, I won't tell anybody you're over here.
Oh, my.
So, yeah, there's some odd stories going on. Have you ever seen the history? This is one of the things I was watching a few weeks ago. The history of the SEC.
Oh, nope.
That is really interesting. Kind of like how that all took off, because that was not a big. The SEC, the Southern football, was a joke for a long time. And that's how Michigan and all these schools, and even the Ivy League schools and stuff. All these these schools way down there, and a bunch of hicks, and they don't know what they're doing, whatever. And then they ended up, forget which school it was. It was LSU that went to the Rose Bowl, and they were like the 4th team chosen or something because everybody else, couldn't go or turned it down or whatever, and they thought they were going to go out there and get killed. And I think they ended up winning that, and then things started turning around. Of course, now the SEC and Southern football is the big thing. That was a really interesting. If you ever get a chance to watch that, the history of the SEC, it's not a modern thing at all. They don't even discuss anything in the modern era. I mean, it's all the way up to like whatever it is, 1950 or 1960 or something like that. It's an old history thing. It's a new documentary, but it's about all the old original history of the SEC.
Wow.
And some of the teams that were in that are like Division III teams now. That used to be in the SEC and stuff. Just really weird facts about college football.
Some of the great coaches from there. Bear Bryant from Alabama.
Somebody was having a discussion the other day. Is Bear Bryant or Nick Saban the greatest coach in Alabama history?
That's a good debate.
That is good. I think more people have an affection for Bear Bryant. I mean, I think he's like the more popular of the two by far. But
he went on for I don't know how long time. One of the top teams in the country.
Well, speaking of things that you can't do anymore, you can't coach like Bear Bryant.
That's true.
Coached.
Well,
Hey, listen, you don't need to have a drink of water for 6 hours.
Yeah, and back then
play tougher.
There was no limit in the amount of scholarships you could give, so he would have 5, 6, 7, 8 running backs that could start for any other teams. He had them all piled up in his team, keep them there so they wouldn't play for somebody else.
I know we're talking about everything, guys. The reason you can see right there on the screen, there's a reason. There is a weather delay here tonight. There's a lightning delay. There's been a few strikes here in the last 10 minutes or so. It's a half hour from every lightning strike in order to get things re-racked to get everybody back out here. So at the moment, it's kind of rough because the Cats have a 1-point lead, but it's
the rain has slowed down some more. If that's any consequence.
Yeah, it has. It has slowed down. So
right now it's pretty quiet weather-wise here. It's pretty quiet, but these clouds are moving through at a rapid rate, and so it doesn't take long to take a place where there's no lightning to bring in some more lightning.
Well, when we find out something or we have any sort of news, we'll tell you in the midst of all of our kind of mindless banter here. As soon as we find out anything for sure, we'll let you know. Well, we're going to take ourselves another break. We'll come back. We'll see if maybe we can come up with something, some sort of answer somewhere. At this point,
question.
Unfortunately, all of you at home or in your car or wherever you're at, you know about as much as we do. So we're just kind of hanging out, and when we know something, we'll pass it along to you. And until then, we'll just keep talking about some things, and we'll keep it moving. All right, be back here in just a little bit. Wilmington leads Lisle 7-6, 3:45 to go in the first quarter. And we're waiting to get more word on the condition of this game and whether or not we're going to keep playing. Back here in just a little bit. And you're listening to Cats Football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. Breezer Construction Company is a proud supporter of Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. For over 40 years, Breezer Construction Company has led the way in providing quality construction to the industrial, utility, and pipeline industries. For more information on Breezer Construction Company, go to breezerconstruction.com. That's breezerconstruction.com. Or call 815-521-0900. When you need the very best representation on your side, the attorneys and staff at Odekirk Allred and Associates are here to help with extensive professional experience in cases involving criminal defense, divorce, custody, personal injury, residential real estate, and driver's license reinstatement. Odekirk Allred and Associates and its diverse team is prepared to commit personalized attention and aggressive representation to achieve positive outcomes for your most stressful legal issues. Odekirk Allred and Associates has a team of highly skilled attorneys from the area, including Wilmington locals. Odekirk Allred and Associates takes pride in its communication skills and unmatched reputation for success. Contact Odekirk Allred and Associates at 815-740-1700 or stop by their new office location in Wilmington at 1095 South Water Street for your free consultation today.
Hey, Billy, where do you think you're going with that beer?
What's the big deal? He is at home.
Nice, Bob. Real nice.
Look, they're practically grown. They're juniors and seniors now, and they're here for the day. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, that may be true for yours, but you can't let the others drink.
In Illinois, the social host law holds adults accountable for underage drinking.
If a minor who was drinking at your house injures or kills someone, you are guilty of a Class 4 felony. You get fined. You go to jail.
So, being the host, aka the adult, letting high schoolers drink is illegal.
Be their guide, don't provide. If you or someone you know abuses alcohol or drugs, please call 815-476-1660. Help is only a phone call away. This ad is brought to you by the Wilmington Coalition for a Healthy Community in partnership with ONDCP and SAMHSA.
The launching pad is back, and the kitchen is now open 7 days a week. The iconic Route 66 restaurant is now serving Italian beef, Chicago-style hot dogs, malts, shakes, and their famous dirtworm sundaes. During your stop at the launching pad, check out the Route 66 gift shop and get your picture taken with the Gemini Giant. Cruise on over to 810 East Baltimore Street in Wilmington and visit the launching pad today. Quigley Technology Services is your local source for computer help. They have built numerous websites, including ours, here at the Christian Internet Sports Network. Quigley Technology Services also specializes in virus removal, so your computer will get back to full speed now. And you can trust them for first-class computer repair, including free local pickup and delivery, plus on-site service, including after hours. Contact Quigley Technology Services at 815-293-7844 or stop by at quigtech.com. That's QUIG tech.com. Well, I think we have an answer. Although I haven't heard an official word. Rumor has been circulating that this game has been canceled and rescheduled for Monday night, which would make it really interesting because that's a fast turnaround from Monday to Friday. But from the looks of things, the people over here on the Lisle sideline are packing up stuff and heading out. So I'm guessing that's in fact the truth.
I think they're trying to keep the dancing all going. Everything with homecoming scheduled, trying to keep it going. So, yeah, I can understand that.
So we'll stay here for just a second as I'll put up here what's going on.
Oh.
So let's see here. Just hang with us for just a minute. So they're waiting for a couple of things to happen, but I'm going to leave that up there as it stands for now, and we'll wrap things up here in just a few minutes. Of course, we got briefly into this game, but at the moment it appears that tonight's football game has been canceled and has been moved now to Monday night. Saturday was not going to work for a host of reasons. It is Lisle's homecoming. They have dance here on Saturday night. There's a soccer game in this particular stadium tomorrow as well. And, of course, Sunday is a very difficult sell on both sides. So apparently it is Monday night will be Wilmington and Lisle. And when we know something on our end of things as far as times and all that stuff goes, I'll make sure to put it on the Facebook page. But we'll be there regardless on Monday.
So when it starts up Monday, will it start up 7 to 6 or we start over again?
I don't know. Well, no, it'd be 7-6. They would start the game back up to where it left off.
Monday.
Yeah, it'd be postponed. So it'd be 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the first quarter. It'd be 7-6. I can't. I mean, they would just start back up where the game left off. People are messaging and saying there's a freshman home game on Monday and all that, but
at least
there shouldn't be. And even if there was, where it's going to be here. So no matter what, it's going to be Monday. So I wouldn't worry about any of that stuff. But Monday night will be probably back right up here at Benedictine. When we find out something more, we will put it on the Facebook page, and I'm going to do that now so that we're kind of prepped there. When we find a specific time, we'll let you know, and then we'll be back up here on Monday for Wilmington and Lisle. We appreciate everyone just kind of hanging out while we're talking about all kinds of random stuff here tonight. We wanted to make sure we hung out long enough to get you an answer before we just packed everything up. So Monday night, we'll resume this game. Wilmington leads at 7-6 over Lisle. We'll post an update on Facebook when we know more.
Will they do the freshman game before that then?
I have no idea. We'll get all the details, and we'll post them later. Just know this game will be played Monday, Wilmington and Lisle. We'll wrap things up here for tonight. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out and listening. I know there are a ton of you just kind of listening and trying to find out what's going on, and we really appreciate that. We'll see you back here on Monday. Again, we'll post everything on the Facebook page as it becomes available. Wilmington leads 7-6, 3:45 to go in the first quarter, and we will pick that back up on Monday. We'll see you back here then. You've been listening to Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network.